This is exactly what I did to get out of my Crohn's flare, and I tell the exact same thing to the people in my 13-day protocol. I know how scary it is to have that clawing gut pain. Yeah, you're afraid you're going to have to go to the doctor, and who knows what they're going to tell you. Usually they don't know, or they're going to tell you something extremely scary, or you don't want to wait in the ER for hours and hours and hours just to have a $3,000 bill just to tell you nothing. At least that's what they do in the U.S. It might be, at least might not be as expensive, in other places in the world. That the fatigue, and then going 20, 30 times a day, that's never fun. Yeah, you go so many times you run out of toilet paper and you can't leave the house because it just turns into this runaway snowball Crohn's if you don't understand the root cause. I didn't discover the root cause. A German doctor did, and he knew it was caused by stress. He could see on a brain CT scan, like if you had Crohn's or colitis or not, and if you were in a flare. He could know from just looking at your CT scan if you were in a flare or if you just had it and weren't in a flare. So he discovered that it was caused by a conflict shock, a stressful event. And this is old news. Because the guy who discovered Crohn's disease, Dr. Burrell Crohn's, he knew it was caused by it. He's like, every time someone has a flare up, it's always after something stressful. And usually the person's in denial. I was in denial too. Breakups, divorce, buying real estate, school, money issues, issues with friends. So when you get a flare, it's usually when that stressful thing gets resolved. The gut was in overdrive trying to help you digest the situation. And then when the conflict got resolved, it's like, okay, let's come out of overdrive and we're going to need to recuperate after all this activity. And healing, like when you go to the gym and you work out, your muscles aren't sore until afterwards, which is much, much like your gut. But we have this stressful situation putting our gut in and out of overdrive. So the first thing that I tell people to do to get out of this flare is, when they're stuck in bed and they don't have anything to do because they're just in so much pain and they're so fatigued, rest and recover and remain calm and know that this is a natural response to stress. I think it's not a very good response to stress, but it is natural. It can happen to anybody. It's not your fault. But while you're stuck in bed, start to think about what that stressful thing is. This is exactly what I tell people to do inside my 13-day protocol, my 13-day program. Exactly. I'm not holding anything back. It's where it started. If you don't know the thing that's putting your gut in and out of overdrive, the second you have the energy to get out of bed, most people are just going to go run straight back into the conflict and put their gut back into overdrive, and they're going to be back in bed. And it's just a matter of time. Identify the conflict. And if that's like hard for you to do, my 13-day protocol, I made it with a hypnotist and an NLP expert, and I educate you on what your body is doing, and I show you guys, like, I have exercises to help pull this trauma out of the brain, the subconscious. If it's only been a year, it's usually at the top of the subconscious mind, but if you were somebody like me who had Crohn's going on for 20 years, it's buried in the subconscious. In this 13-day protocol, it pulls it up out of the subconscious. It takes a little bit of time to rewire the brain.